Okay, guys, it's time for an intervention on your nasty, stinky, disgusting training gear. You know it smells like shit. So let's fix your shit. Hex Performance makes advanced laundry detergent, gear wash, and gear spray that gets the stink out. It was started by a pro athlete, so they know sweat and they know modern athletic fabrics. But it doesn't stop at just sportswear. You can clean everything from your gear bag to your towels, your walking around clothes. You can spray it on your car seats. This stuff is legit and it smells amazing. Go to hexperformance.com and use the code MATTHERAPY20 for 20% off. I promise you will thank us for it. And now... What's up, everybody? It is time for Mat Therapy. Today we are on a very cool rooftop in downtown Los Angeles with our 10th Planet HQ homie Luis Quinones, who is representing the USA for, give us the whole title.
So it's a grappling team.
US Grappling World Team.
Yeah, Grappling World Team.
Yeah.
US
Grappling World Team. You're going to Azerbaijan.
It's a wordy one.
It is.
With our
It's a
homegirl Bree
mouthful.
Stick.
Yeah.
Do you know her?
Not personally. We've met before, but I don't know
She's
her
your teammate now.
Right.
Yeah, she is.
Say hi, Bexy.
Hi.
So we're on your cool ass rooftop. We're not going to tell you where it is because we don't want you to crash his house unless you're invited to the parties we come to.
I feel like, yeah.
But if you know him, he'll
no
invite you.
immediate signs of where we are, I guess.
So let's talk about how. Well, actually, let's rewind. Our listeners like to know all of our stories. How did you get into grappling? Because somebody said something to me a couple weeks ago, really interesting. He's a black belt at 10th Planet, and he was like, man, Luis has been grappling longer than I've been doing jiu-jitsu. And I was like, what?
Sure. Yeah, so I guess that's kind of slightly misleading. But yeah, so I think he or she meant wrestling.
We don't have any,
so we don't
she
have any
black
female
belts.
black
Oh,
belts.
fair enough.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Not
right.
yet.
He probably meant wrestling.
Yes, he
yeah.
did.
That's the kind of source of that story. But yeah, I mean, I've wrestled for a long time. I had a small break, but high school, college, a little bit after college, and then had a kind of a relatively long pause. And then I started racing, which was kind of a whole
What kind of racing?
motorcycle racing.
Oh.
Yeah, so that was a whole separate segment of my life.
Now, were you competitive in college?
Yeah.
So you, what college?
I wrestled at York College in Pennsylvania. I
Okay.
wrestled at 141.
Is that like a known wrestling college? Because I know there are some colleges.
It's a pretty small school, but it's Pennsylvania, so every Pennsylvania
Oh,
school
okay. I had
is
no idea.
a good
Heavy on
yeah,
wrestling.
a heavy wrestling school. I mean, most Pennsylvania schools are.
Okay, so you're wrestling, and then one day you see a motorcycle, and you're like,
No, so
I'd
this was
rather do
this
that.
was a this was a, no this was a what 5 years or more after.
Okay.
Because I went to grad school and did a bunch of stuff after that, like work related. But yeah, motorcycles it was a West Coast thing actually. But so
Oh.
yeah, so the grappling and wrestling, that was a whole segment of my life that I departed from and then essentially came back to.
Okay.
After my racing career was done. Jiu-jitsu wise, we had very light, and when I was in college, there was guys that just wanted to.
You're like, you could choke
We're like,
somebody
we used
after
to
you
watch
get
Pride.
them down.
We used to watch Pride. At that time, I liked Pride a lot more than UFC.
Everybody did.
And
'Cause
Pride
the
was
juice.
Pride was super entertaining. So we were like, this is sick. Like, people are soccer kicking each other,
Yeah.
grappling. You had a bunch of really interesting submissions. And so a lot of guys, wrestlers, and people would get together and like start seeing videos and be like, oh, we're gonna try this.
Yeah.
But never really any kind of formal training until I showed up at HQ.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So how did you find 10th Planet?
So it was kind of interesting because from like my style in wrestling is a kind of more funky, more technique based, but really more funky and like
Okay.
in terms of like relative to just wrestling. And I view 10th Planet as the variation of jiu-jitsu that's like the funky style of jiu-jitsu.
Didn't Tony Bichek say the same thing? Do you know who
Oh,
Tony
No.
Bichek?
Tony-
He's the He's the
Moonhead for 10th Planet Tucson.
and he's a wrestler,
Oh,
a fighter,
nice.
a UFC fighter.
Yeah.
But literally, he was like, "Oh, I'm a funky wrestler." He
Yeah,
has, like, a funny name.
so
Was.
it's interesting because that's kind of how I looked at it. And then I watched Eddie's match with Hoyler.
Okay.
And
the second one.
The second one, yeah.
Okay.
And that was kind of, yeah.
So then you
Were you
came
training already then?
What's that?
Were you training already
No.
then? Oh, so you didn't start till after the rematch?
yeah.
Holy
Yeah.
crap. Was the transition from wrestling to jiu-jitsu and the whole, like, this is what I often hear from wrestlers who, especially people that haven't done jiu-jitsu and just wrestling, is the whole being on your back thing seems to be the struggle for wrestlers.
Of course. It's funny because when I was in college and we were like, you know, playing around with jiu-jitsu, it's like, okay, well, I'm gonna lay on my back and just try to like throw my legs up.
You're laying
and
on your
arm
back.
Right. So it's because like you didn't really understand the mechanics of like guard retention or guard passing, right? So when I obviously as a wrestler, like it's naturally inclined to be on top, but I sort of fell in love with guard, like the idea of like playing guard and funky things you could do from guard, especially with rubber guard. So I looked at it as like, okay, well, if I want to be competitive, what's the area that I would need to work on the most first? And that would probably be guard or anything involving bottom. Sure. And so that's kind of how I looked at it.
Yeah.
But yeah, at first it was kind of weird because you're like, why would I be on bottom when I can just be on top?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. But I don't know. I kind of ended up. I think I'm one of that other variation of wrestlers that really enjoys like playing from guard.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was kind of an interesting transition, but a weird one for sure.
Well, then your style must translate really well to the U.S. grappling team and their kind of their rule-based thing, because it's really an offshoot of the Wrestling Association, and then they started like the grappling side of it, I guess.
Yeah.
And so it must speak really well to.
Yeah, it's interesting because you have the opportunity. So there's you can't just pull guard.
Yes, I was not very happy about that when I saw the rule.
So which is good. Honestly, we go down this topic. I mean, but I think it's good because it forces you to engage in another aspect of the art, which is standing.
Yeah.
And you know, there's lots of arguments about in self-defense you would never sit on the ground, but that everybody's entitled to their own opinion. Sure. I like that you have to be standing because as a wrestler, obviously that works well for me, but it's also more exciting because you're able to produce interesting transitions from takedowns. You're able to people like seeing the kind of aggressiveness from the feet.
Yeah, it's super fun to watch.
And so it's fun to watch, right? And
Tana's like, I just don't want to do it.
Right. So it's fun to watch. So I mean,
it's cardio intensive.
I enjoy. Yeah, that's another big thing that people are always like, like wrestling matches are only 7 minutes. It's like, I would try wrestling 100% for 7 minutes. It's very misleading in terms of like no time limit match in jiu-jitsu. So
I always tell her about the one match that I had that stayed standing for it was like 3.5 minutes in before we finally got to the ground. But those 3.5 minutes or whatever of just going back and forth and attempting takedowns and stuff was probably more exhausting than the other matches.
Like, sit down, Becky!
Sure, and I mean,
get on your ass, stop with this bullshit.
It's interesting, because like if you think of it, anything that your muscles aren't used to, that kind of activity-wise, you're always going to be more tired.
For sure.
Because I remember when we were in college, we would do like swim sprints, right? Yeah. But we would be mid-season, like peak condition, almost peak conditioning, and you go swim. And you're just like, we're just like fish in water, like trying, like our form is all sloppy, and you're exerting so much more energy, and you gas super fast. Yeah. Kind of the same idea. So if it's not something you're used to, you get more tired more quickly because it's just a technique. Because
it's not
energy efficiency thing,
like muscle memory kind of thing.
Right.
Some of what we do, it becomes muscle memory.
Exactly.
Oh, well, and in grappling, you can rest. Like if you get a really good position on somebody, you're like, I'm gonna rest on top of you for a second.
For a sec.
Make your life miserable.
So I think it's an interesting rule set. I wish. I mean, there's no heel hooks, which is kind of a
lame.
Yeah, so that's the only thing that I think is missing from that equation. But
But ankle locks are there, right?
Ankle locks are there, sure.
What else is not allowed?
That's pretty much heel hooks as far as I remember. I need to go through the rules again for sure.
Yeah.
But
they were pretty open. It seemed
they were pretty open. Just the heel hooks and.
So is there going to be any team practices? Are you going to be able to meet or even train with your teammates?
So we get there a week I'm getting there I think
okay.
a week early, and then we're gonna be able to train there.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Because it didn't occur to me ever, we've talked to Bree a couple times about this right after she won and everything, but it never occurred to me, like, I've never seen either of you guys train with other members of the squad.
No, because part of it is everybody's, I mean, a lot of people are in different places.
Yeah,
So there's people in New York, people in other states. So.
But there's only one of you in each weight class anyway, right? So it wouldn't make a lot of
sense. It's kind of, exactly. Like, you don't have somebody your own size to be preparing for, which is another big thing, like, you know, in wrestling, because there's an emphasis on wrestling in some ways because there's amplitude points. So like if
amplitude points.
Yeah, so you get bonus point if you're taking somebody down and their hips are higher than your hips. You get an amplitude bonus.
I like it.
Yeah, so there's a level of more emphasis on standing.
Okay.
Is that like an advantage?
No.
You actually get a point.
Oh, okay. It's an actual point that you get.
You get their hips higher than you. Like you're
got it.
So you get a bonus.
You get air,
so to speak,
in your toss.
And air in your points. Got it.
Yeah, and so there's an emphasis on that. So not having training partners in your exact weight division is a little different. Yeah. Like, and that's another big difference I think between like wrestling and jiu-jitsu, that the part of the reason there's no absolute in wrestling is because it's impossible.
For sure.
Yeah. In some ways.
Right.
The size
it'd be like
difference
you up
is
against someone like Rob Rodriguez or Matt Spencer size.
Yeah, and if their technique is kind of on the same level, it's not even a question. So anyways, I like the rule set. I think it's interesting. I think a future edition could be like having all attacks be legal versus saying you can't heal.
I mean, this is still. I mean,
it's still
everything is still.
But it's still
new. It's still a baby though.
Yeah. So
it's, I'm sure in time things will change little by little.
But I'm happy with the rule set. I think it's interesting. It kind of provides another spin on the already ever expanding number of competition types that there are at this point.
Yeah. Have you trained in the gi yet?
Not jiu-jitsu. I did judo as like a
really?
When I say I did judo, I mean like I did judo just to get in shape for wrestling.
Oh.
When I was in college, yeah.
Okay.
Never like formally competed or anything like that.
Yeah.
Just as so that's the only time I wore a kimono or a gi.
Neither of us have ever trained in a gi either.
Yeah.
I've never even put one on.
I wouldn't mind. I mean, I think it's interesting because it's a different. I would imagine it gives you like a different feel for control and moves and grips versus clinch.
I just think it seems so suffocating. Like if Nuaza wants to give me one of their lightweight gis, I'll wear that. But I'm not wearing a gi.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, and it seems like it seems like it slows things down
for sure.
a lot.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I'm not opposed to it. I think it would be fun.
Yeah.
I don't think there's enough hours in the day for me to train in the gi.
What else do you do besides grapple?
Well, I mean, I have a full-time job. I'm a computational designer, so I work
What does that mean?
I design algorithms.
You design algorithms?
Sorry,
that sounds super easy. What do you do?
What's the title? What's your job title?
A computational designer.
Computational
designer.
Who uses your algorithms?
You design
different companies.
Algorithms?
I work for a tech company that's out of Portland.
Are you like a security guy? Like
No.
a tech security?
So like building programs?
Yeah, design applications, algorithms to solve different problems or around a design space.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I have no idea what that, but it sounds.
It's fun. I mean, it's an interesting,
it's virtual
mentally
building.
challenging exercise.
All right.
And so I have a
virtual building blocks.
A full work routine. And then I train it in the afternoons.
Oh, I have an interesting question that we've never talked about on the show. Where do you stand on cryptocurrencies?
Oh
yeah, I know. But I'm just learning about them.
No, I mean I'm not well versed in cryptocurrencies.
But aren't they all about algorithms and blockchains?
Sure. No, of course.
Like that?
There's their algorithms are used to solve everything. Right.
Okay.
That's a difference. Like I'm not in the financial sector.
Okay.
Of
I watched
algorithm design.
the documentary on Netflix that's
Oh, the Bitcoin one?
yeah, supposedly if you watch it, you'll understand a little bit more about
Nice.
Bitcoin. So
But
watch
do
the
you?
whole thing. I still know the same amount. I'm not really totally sure what a Bitcoin
I've had
is.
so apparently in 10th Planet, like even we have some experts, and some of our Chicago guys are huge into it. Like they're traders and they design things, and I think they design blockchain. I don't know what they do, but I've had a couple conversations with them, and I still have no idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't have a specific
Yeah.
Opinion on the subject.
know? Okay.
Not really.
All right, that's fair.
No.
That's fair.
No.
So, are you familiar with Azerbaijan?
No, not at all.
Had you
weather
ever
gonna be
heard
like?
of it
Yeah.
prior to?
No, I had, but I mean, I didn't know much about it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I just, yeah, I've been kind of trying to figure out what because I'll be there an extra day and a half, I think, something like that.
check it out?
A day.
afterwards.
Yeah.
What
So
does
you
one
get to-
do?
I
to
mean, that I'm
sightsee
not
and
sure
that-
yet.
oh,
So I'm still
yeah.
like kind of planning out what that's going to be like.
He's focused on his training.
I hear you.
Yeah.
Not
I
the-
hear you.
not the traveling
What is your
part.
camp like so far? I know that every single time I've seen you,
Yeah.
I've seen you, you've been busting ass. So
Yeah, so it's been a 6 week, well, I mean 6.5, 7 week camp. We're now in week 3,
okay.
I think.
Because you got the news late. You actually went to
Yeah.
the competition, beat the guy who.
Well,
No,
there was, there was,
Yeah.
that was a
That
different
little
match.
rough-
That was a different match?
Yeah, that was
Okay.
a
I think
different
that guy
match.
got third place, right?
Yeah.
Oh,
That was a
I thought
different
that was the
match.
guy that won. So there was a
No.
match that the guy tapped and then
That was
he
a
said he
different
didn't
match.
tap.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Fake
but
tap,
then,
but it was tap.
It was
The
we all
phantom tap. The
lost
phantom
it.
Even
tap.
the ref thought it was tap.
Yeah.
Anyway,
But then
still annoyed by that.
so then you won the alternate spot
Right.
in the end of it all.
Yeah.
And then do you know what happened? Did the person who
No.
win it get injured?
I have no idea.
Okay.
Yeah.
But then they just called you a couple
Yeah.
weeks ago and they're like, guess what? You're in.
Yeah, I mean, it was luckily like, I mean, it was enough time. Like,
Yeah.
it didn't require, it wasn't like a last second
Okay.
thing. So, I mean, we built a full camp around it with proper strength and conditioning with Sisu, doing a lot of wrestling, bringing in some people external for wrestling, jiu-jitsu, swim sprints 3
Yeah.
times a week.
When you say we, who's
I mean, a
who's
collective.
leading? Okay.
Yeah, I mean, well, like,
Training partners.
yeah,
and
training
friends and
partners,
stuff
yeah.
that-
Yeah.
yeah.
like Sisu, Raimi, Rob Rodriguez, we've all
All
kind of
solid
planned
guys,
our,
yeah.
Yeah.
like what that camp
Yeah.
essentially kind of looks like. So, but there's lots of different people helping, so it's great.
That's awesome.
So
And
yeah,
even
so
your teammates that you're rolling with.
exactly.
I watch you finish one roll and you're just like looking for the next guy and you're like, you wanna roll?
Yeah,
And
I mean,
there's like
it's
one right after the other when you're
trying to. Yeah, right now we're kind of in the process of building up the intensity so that we peak at the right time and come down at the right time. Yeah, I mean that's kind of the idea behind the camps.
I like that you say we.
I love that.
I like that
I
you
love
say
that
we.
too. That's why I'm like, who's we?
I kind of generally speak as we because
Yeah.
I mean it's like any of this.
Because everybody's like part of
Yeah,
like you're not just
anything
doing all
like
of this on
this
your
is
own.
exactly.
Yeah.
It's not me
Like you
doing
can't do
it.
any of this. You can't be there. You can't, be as good as you've gotten
Sure,
without the
exactly.
people around you.
Yeah, for
Like,
sure.
it's
Exactly,
just-
and that's a long list of people, and
Yeah.
so it's a we. I mean, you can't really say I.
Yeah.
I mean, I do swim sprints. I guess that's about the extent of the. That's about the extent of the
I.
singularity. Yeah, but it's going well. Relatively injury free right now, which
Nice.
is good. Things pop up here and there, but nobody ever really competes 100% anyway.
Right. I
I
mean,
thi-
we
I was gonna say,
try
I
and
think-
break each other
Right.
as a sport.
Right.
So
I think being relatively injury free is as best as it's gonna get at any
Yeah.
point ever while
Yeah,
you're doing
because I
jiu-jitsu.
mean, come on,
There's no such thing as nothing hurts,
Right.
everything's fine.
Everything's
that just
fine.
doesn't exist in this
do you ever
sport
go?
ever.
I just joined a boot camp class to
And
start
if you
working
say you
on
do, you're lying.
my cardio, and the trainer was like, "All right, any injuries?" And I'm like, "Bro,
Where do I start?
Where do you
I'm like,
really
I do
start?
jujitsu, so everything hurts and everything's fucked up. So just, I'll
Yeah.
let you know if something specific happens."
Yeah, so yeah, it's going well. I'm excited. I can see the progress, kind
Yeah.
of conditioning wise and strength wise is going well. Kind of my diet's been very good, so just kind of keeping a relatively close tab on my weight right now.
I was gonna ask, are you?
Yeah, I'm
you don't
good right
cut,
now.
Do you?
Not a lot. I like to let the diet do the majority of the work.
For sure.
And so if I'm losing too fast, I'll try to put on a little
Slow
more
it down.
muscle.
Never
and
had
slow it
that
down.
problem, but I hear you.
Yeah, so it's yeah, it's going well though. I'm excited.
Awesome.
How long's the flight out there?
Oh.
That's the whole thing.
It's
So
like it's got to be like forever.
I think the trip
Literally a day and a
duration
half, huh?
there is like, I want to say like 30 hours
Ah!
or something.
Like a day and a
Wait,
half.
where
obnoxious.
is Azerbaijan?
It's between Iran and Armenia.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought. Okay. It's
Like
kinda like
the complete
that
sandwich
is not
opposite
where I
side of-
thought.
Oh, really?
I thought it
Yeah,
was
so
in Europe.
I fly into Istanbul.
Ooh, that's cool.
That's about I think that's like 13 hours or something like that. But then I'm in Istanbul for a chunk of time,
Uh-huh.
like a pretty big layover, and I think a bigger one on the way back.
Like,
and
can
then
you go out and like, I don't know how much there's.
I've
I
heard
don't-
there's
yeah, I'd have
awesome
to
food
look.
there.
Yeah,
Like,
but
yeah, at least go out and have lunch or something.
so that, and then there's a big layover, and then I get into Azerbaijan at 1 in the morning.
Fun. Their time,
Yeah, their
which
time.
is God only knows what your time
like
and
I don't
at
know
that
what the
point how
time
much you've been
difference is,
flying.
yeah.
And
It's a lot.
But
Yeah.
I think my goal is just to stay awake the whole time and
That's a
get
good
in
idea.
and
just
like
pass out when
and
you
try
get
to
there.
just go to sleep and adjust the kind
That
of
would be
internal clock.
That would be pretty.
Because it gives
like,
me
perfect
3
if you
nights.
get in at
Because I
1.
leave Sunday and I get back and I land Tuesday. Tuesday at 1 a.m.
What?
So, yeah, I don't. So I have Tuesday night,
You just have
Wednesday
one layover.
night, Thursday night to get ready because I compete on Friday.
Just one layover.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
In Istanbul.
Mm.
I've heard that's a really cool city.
Never been.
I have a friend whose family lives there half the year, and she's like, it's awesome.
Yeah, never been. But I'm excited to.
Their
Maybe
food.
she can
I
give-
don't
maybe
know.
she can
I
give
don't
some
know if
tips.
I'll
She
be
said
able
she
to.
probably. I'll give her a call.
Well, I'm not
place
sure
to
if on the
eat.
way there I have enough of a layover to actually
Yeah.
be able to leave and do anything.
Yeah.
But I think on the way back it's a pretty significant one.
At least you got to go eat. I do know that Turkey has. I mean, I'm sure everywhere has amazing food for whatever, but that was one of our stops on our honeymoon. We.
Oh, really?
We went to Ephesus in Turkey, which is like seeing New York City about 2,000 years after it died off.
Uh-huh.
Like the streets were made of marble. It was crazy. There was
What?
public toilets. It was crazy. So we went and saw this, and luckily the guide who I hired to take us on a tour turned out to be a history teacher. So we got this
That's cool.
amazing
So you kind of
tour.
lucked out.
And then he was like, "What else do you guys want to do?" And we were like, "We want where you would go and eat."
Sure.
So he took us to this little cafe off the side of the road, and he went in and ordered for us, and it was so good.
Yeah, that's like any place,
Yeah.
any local in any place.
Yeah.
You know, that's the way to go. I mean, they're gonna have the most insight, the best kind of suggestions.
It was
Yeah.
so awesome. Oh, but then I had another "How did you not die" story.
Oh, good.
Yeah,
Wait,
I have
what?
a couple of. I have several "How are you still alive" stories. This is not quite, but it felt like that for a second. Turned out to be fine.
helicopters chasing you.
No,
Okay.
no, I got chased in a stolen car by a helicopter once. Listen to the two
Yeah,
episodes
wait.
ago.
I feel like we need to stop whatever was gonna happen next and talk about.
No, I
that.
told the
We
story.
talked about
I
it
told
a
the
few
story.
episodes
Oh,
back.
okay.
Friends
That's how it came
when
up.
I was in middle school stole a car. I got in it. We got chased, and then we lost. We lost the helicopters and the cops that were
Like
chasing
Gone in
us.
60 Seconds style.
Yeah, like and then we got
Yeah.
out, and it was the whole thing. Anyway, so we're in Turkey. You know, we only have however long the cruise ship stops.
Sure.
So it was like 8 hours or something like that. And this man who had been very nice and taken us on this fantastic tour, but we had the driver who didn't speak any English, and he seemed like one of those scary characters in a movie that just like completely stoic, didn't talk, and then they start talking to each other in Turkish, I guess, and the guy's looking at his phone, and he goes, "Hey, I forgot something at my house, and I gotta go get it." And we
That's
were,
not creepy.
Yeah, we were
Yeah,
like,
that's pretty
"What?" And he was like, "Can we stop by my house?" Now, when you say, "Can we stop by my house?" that means it's on the way to where we're going.
Sure.
Right? Now, the only thing that we knew is we came from that direction. That's it. And we're in a country that we don't know any of the language. So we drive out, and we were like, "Sure, we can stop by
Yeah.
your house and grab the thing that you forgot, as long as you get us back to our cruise ship before
Uh-huh.
it leaves." So
Yeah,
they
that's
go
what
out to
There's
the
so
road.
many red flags right now.
I know.
It's just
This
like,
is what we came here for, was
Right.
so that we can go
Right.
drive around and go pick shit up
So,
at your
well,
house.
we'd seen Ephesus. There was only the drive back, and
Oh,
they
okay.
try and sell you carpets. So he was going to make us stop at the carpet place. We were like, maybe we could skip the carpet place. But we go out to the road that, was an hour to get there, and they turn the opposite direction, and me and Jonathan are like, "Oh, this is interesting." But the funny thing is, Jonathan and I had a little bit of an argument earlier, so we were like, "Nah." And then we noticed that we're going in the opposite direction, and we were both like, like scooting closer to each other, like we're not fighting anymore. We're not fighting anymore.
I love you. I love you. I love you.
So then we start going up into this neighborhood, and like, you know, like up in the hills, and they're like weaving through all these houses, and the driver doesn't look at us and doesn't speak English, and we're just looking at the guy, and he's like not paying attention to us. And me and Jonathan are like, we're getting kidnapped, we're getting killed. There's gonna be stories about us.
Our body parts are gonna get spread everywhere.
So, you know, we're driving and we're like, fuck, we wouldn't even know how to ask anybody for help to get back to somebody if this goes bad. Luckily, it didn't. Like, the guy literally went in his house and but he was gone for like 15 minutes. And we're sitting there with the guy that didn't speak.
Yeah, it's like,
But we were like, the fuck?
It must have been like the longest 15 minutes.
yeah,
What the
I'm
fuck
just
are we
like
doing?
tweaking
But,
out
yeah.
thinking about that story.
He came back
It's making me a
and
little
he's like,
uncomfortable.
"Hey, got my glasses." Like, it was something so like
Glasses.
not weird at all. But we were like, oh, what? And then he took us back to the cruise ship.
You're
and
like,
he's
so
"Come
you're
on."
not murdering us and selling our body parts, right?
So this whole
you're just
story
getting
I've
glasses.
created in my head, not true.
Not true?
Well, that's good.
Freaked me out. But yeah,
That's a plus.
yeah. Almost got
So you
kidnapped.
won. You won. That's for sure.
Yeah, that's.
You could have
sorry.
lost much worse on that one.
Yeah. Well, we're still alive. We made it back to the cruise ship.
Right.
Because well, hi, we're in Turkey and
Well, I
not
mean-
in a city where the dock is. Could you please take us to where the American people are that speak our language?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's.
That's my story. Have you traveled to grapple anywhere else around the world?
No.
All right.
Around the world, no.
No. Around the
Country?
U.S. Yes.
Aside from
Yeah,
Vegas.
No, not anywhere. Nowhere outside the America.
You're the dude, and I love this about you. Like, they'll go compete by yourself somewhere, and like
Yeah.
Sure.
not take a teammate or a
true.
coach or anything. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He just
So I'm always like, who's gonna come hold my hand?
He just packed. Who's gonna coach me? Who's gonna tell
Yeah, I
me?
mean
things?
it's
Who's gonna warm up
there's
with me?
yeah, if it feels fun and
Yeah.
feels right, yeah, sure. I mean, it's always entertaining. I mean,
Yeah.
it's
I need someone. I need
Who's gonna
someone
hold
to
my water
record
bottle?
matches.
Right.
oh yeah, the match recording. That's definitely one
That's
that's
a big one, yeah.
problematic.
Luckily, I
But
was
you
there
could
for
get
you
you.
can just
You're
set up like
good.
a tripod.
That I was gonna say you could get a
Luckily,
tripod.
I was there to
were.
record your matches and then
then
to
yell at
use
the
it.
ref.
Yes, to use it to
Use
yell at
it
the
to
ref
yell at the ref.
afterwards. Where I'm like,
Right.
look,
Yeah,
he
that was pretty
tapped.
funny.
And
The
he's
ref
like,
had
"That's
your
what
back
I
on
thought."
that one.
Yeah, they did.
It was the
Well,
rules.
the ref was also like 12.
Yeah, he looks.
No, I mean the
super
the guy
young.
who was in charge of
Oh,
all that. I was like,
sure.
this bullshit. And he was like,
Yeah.
I'm agreeing with you.
But, you know,
And
but
even
I
the
mean,
kid, but the kid was like, yeah, it looked like he tapped, but he was like 12, so he
yeah.
wasn't really that confident.
To be
in
fair,
his
like
thing.
I mean, reffing
So hard.
is hard, yeah,
Yeah.
and it's easy to like point out mistakes
Yeah.
because when you're watching, you don't want to see,
It's
or when you're
true.
competing, but it's tough. You know, there's there's a lot of things to juggle.
The first ref
but he
match-
definitely dropped the bomb on that.
He totally did. The guy tapped, and then he said he didn't tap, and it was super dishonorable of him because he's a black belt. It was bullshit.
It's okay.
Whatever.
Those things happen.
It worked out.
I love Luis.
I know,
I mean,
you're
it
so
could
whatever.
it could have been
It's
like
fine.
I mean, it wasn't Adelaide Bird 118 110
I didn't see that fight, but
style,
my
but, yeah.
timeline. Oh, I will say.
Exploded.
yeah, we'll talk about that in a second.
I was
The
seeing
first
all that
match
the other
I
day.
ever reffed, Scott Epstein, who I love, but that motherfucker sat there and yelled at me the whole time.
while you were
And it was a sub-only match. I'm like, are you serious
At
right now?
you?
Go away.
He's really
we
good
were-
at yelling at the other person, making fun of the
Yeah.
other person,
It was-
giving them wrong information and stuff.
It was when we were at HQ, and his guy was getting beat, and he didn't agree with something, and so he starts
Calling out
yelling
his
at me.
guy.
I can't remember who it was, and it wasn't a big deal. It's so long ago. I'm sure the person is a fucking like
Oh, you were reffing.
assassin.
I see,
was
okay.
reffing, and
I thought he
Scott
was coaching
didn't
you. I was
like
like,
the way
damn.
that it was going, and he started yelling at me, and I'm like, shut up! This is the first thing I've ever reffed. Get the fuck out of my face.
But that's what you get. I mean, you go into the lines then.
Yeah.
And you gotta be ready to be yelled at.
Ay, ay, ay.
Yeah.
That happens. I mean,
I'm terrified
Okay,
of
I didn't
reffing.
watch Talk Boxing. I didn't watch that, but
I
my,
mean, I'm not
my
a boxing
timeline
expert.
exploded.
Dude.
but
I
yeah,
watched,
I mean-
okay,
Okay, so what happened?
I
mean, why? What was
my
the-
experience in actually watching boxing
Okay.
is in the last 5 years, and it's usually bigger matches. Like I'm one of those.
That's
like
the only thing anybody watches.
I guess. Yeah, I'm not watching
Especially
every
boxing.
single
Right.
every single anything. What I saw on Saturday night was the best boxing match I have ever watched. If boxing was like that, I
Okay.
would watch it way
Yeah.
more often. It was an
it was super
incredible
entertaining
fight.
for sure.
Okay.
super entertaining.
But they had to they always, it's almost like boxing has to find a way of ruining it somehow. They're like, here's this amazing match. It's incredible. It's great.
I mean,
go back and rewatch it. It's actually worth it. And then the judging comes out.
It wasn't like it was the margin by which it was scored that was like atrocious.
That's what I
like. You know, had he declared a draw or
it was nowhere
or
near
like
a
yeah,
draw.
118-110 though. Like that's.
It was nowhere
He was
near
on
a draw.
He was smoking that shit.
Okay.
Because.
All right.
Yeah, that
but
was
also,
the
you know,
biggest Canelo
then now
fan.
they get to have another
Of course.
rematch.
Of course, and they
So-
probably would have either way. It's
Money,
going
money,
to
money,
yeah,
money.
maybe that's what
dollar
it is. I don't
bills.
know.
Right?
Yeah.
Who was the announcer that? Did you guys see the video of the announcer? One of the, I can't remember his name now, but he's a popular boxing announcer. Went
Well, there's
off.
only like 3 of them.
Yeah, well,
It's
must
not.
have been
It's
one
not
of those
Michael
3.
Buffer.
No.
Did he say, "Let's get"?
No.
What
No.
did he say?
This was an announcer down on like the sidelines.
Oh,
like
you mean
some,
like
a
a
commentator?
commentator,
Maybe
okay.
one of the commentators. Something. I can't remember his name.
Harold Letterman. No, not Harold Letterman.
Was it Max
Max.
Kellerman?
All I know is that this guy went off and he was pissed and he was just like, everybody says they're done and this like it was crazy.
Was it entertaining enough to watch to go find a video of? Somebody send it to me, please.
Oh, it's like 60
Okay.
seconds. It's like not even 60 seconds. Yeah, you can watch that. But I'm telling you, the match is actually entertaining. Like, I go back and watch the match. It was
will,
great.
okay.
It was interesting because
Just
yeah, I mean.
The fucking way they ended
the
it.
amount of pressure, and again, I'm not a boxing expert, but like, it was super fun to watch.
Yeah.
Because he was just relentless.
Yeah.
Like, coming forward,
That's all you did.
nonstop.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was awesome.
It was
I mean,
great.
Boxing is
it was
super
one
good
of
cardio.
one of the most entertaining fights I've seen for sure.
Yeah, that was definitely the best fight I've ever watched.
Or boxing
but
matches.
Interesting.
just had to fuck it all up with the draw.
All right.
Because I was,
So I mean,
was
all
rooting
this
for
stemmed
Canelo.
from
I like
one
him.
bad referee call. We've now gone into how bad of a referee you were.
I was not bad. It was a sub-only match. I literally had nothing to do with the fucking match.
All you had to do is
Yeah.
make
Make
pay
sure somebody
attention to the
tapped.
time,
Right.
and if somebody taps, to stop the match.
Yeah.
I'm a great sub-only ref. What are you talking about?
Yeah. I mean, I would imagine being a sub-only ref
It's so easy.
probably a little
Now
easier.
I'm fine
You're
doing
just
sub-only
kinda
matches. I do it all the
overseeing
time now. Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
just like, that guy won.
If there's
Yeah.
no heel hooks, then you're making sure nobody does the heel hook. That's it.
You just make sure they don't run into people at this point.
I mean, the EBI
Keep 'em
overtime
in the middle of the
rounds
break.
That's
could
a
be
little, yeah.
tougher, I think.
The EBI
Yeah.
what?
Like
Overtime
overtime rounds to
rounds?
ref.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. That you really
Especially
have
like
to pay
if
attention.
there's like if you're on a boundary or something, you
Yeah.
have to like
Yeah.
stop and then reset.
No, that scares me too because then I feel like I'd get caught up in the match and I'd be like, oh, look at that transition they did. Oh, wait, they're out. They should. Oh, time.
Time. Yeah. My bad. Take away
You're
like
like, but
4
that
or
was
5
really
seconds.
Yeah,
good.
there was like
I think it was like
5
4
seconds of me
seconds or
spacing
something,
out
yeah.
there. So can you just knock that down? Cool, we're good. All right,
Eddie
let's
did
go.
that at EBI, but luckily it was the winning. Like, did you remember
Wait,
that?
what?
Eddie
I
at
don't
this
remember
last
that.
EBI that was
Was it this last one?
8,000 hours long, or maybe it was the guys.
8,000 hours.
It was one of the last
It
two
was-
for sure.
I almost
Well, the
think
last
it
one was not. The last one was the girls.
It was the 2 Brazilians. It was Thalita and
Is that what it was? So it was like semifinals or
it
something,
was
right?
Thalita and I can't remember the other one, but luckily it was the last round of the third. It was the bottom of the third or whatever, and
like
um,
baseball.
yeah, and then
I think, no, you know what happened is that then when they switched and the next girl went, she submitted her.
that's
So
yeah,
it was now
went,
now
yeah,
time
whatever
Oh,
didn't-
it's
happened.
kinda-
so now time wasn't
yeah.
a thing
Right.
anymore. So
But
he got
Eddie just sat
super
there and
lucky.
go back and watch it. He's like, and they turned around and looked at him, and he was like, "Oh shit!"
Like they literally like both disengaged and were looking at him, and he goes, "Oh, time!" Like,
Roll back like 4 on that one.
yeah, maybe a little more on that one.
Yeah.
He spaced real good.
You're right.
But there was a
I
submission
believe,
right after, so time was no longer an
Gosh,
issue.
what was her name? It was Talita. I think Talita's the one.
I
that
think
got
it
the-
was. It was Talita
Yeah.
and
Gabby.
I can't
Gabby. Or how did she pronounce it? Gabi.
Gubby.
Gubby.
Gabi.
Yeah.
Gabi.
Oh my God, that was hilarious. I totally
See-
forgot about that.
Yeah, I'll have to go back and watch that. I
Yeah,
don't
spaced
remember that.
completely. Awesome.
It's
It was
pretty
awesome.
funny.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
I had
Anyway,
a question for you. Now I can't remember what it was. It'll come to me.
Probably had an answer, I think.
I'm
Probably.
afraid to. That's why I'm afraid to ref though. Is
Why?
that I'll
It's
space.
submission only.
No, I know, but it's the overtime part.
All right.
I can deal with the main part. It's when we go into overtime. I will space out.
All right.
I know me. I will
Well,
space out. I'll be like.
So
"This is
now
a
we
good
know
match."
anybody who's ever
Oh, I
thinking
like-
of
right.
tournaments,
Call Bexy.
do not have her ref.
There you go.
Unless
I
you
don't
want
know
some-
this for a
some
fact. Maybe when
scandalous
I'm
action.
actually in there in that moment, like the adrenaline, I'm just going to be like on top of everything.
Well, you're gonna be thinking about it probably because
true.
you're gonna be like, okay, wait, there's like actually something.
You'll be fine.
Here.
Oh, I know.
What?
Blue Belt tournament.
Yes.
Yes. Let's talk about that.
The 23rd.
That's this Saturday.
Yes.
And all of the proceeds are actually going to help your trip.
Yes.
So that's awesome.
It's
Are
gonna be
you
very
going to come ref?
exciting.
Fancy.
Yeah, I'm gonna be there. I don't know if Scott needs me to ref or not, or kind of
Yeah.
what the idea is with the reffing. But ironically, after this whole reffing conversation, maybe I will take my hand in.
I'll be there. I'm
In,
sure I'll ref.
in
I
reffing.
usually do.
Maybe
He's
I'll
gonna-
jump in and
he's-
see.
Maybe I'll just jump in and see
I
how.
know that he plans
Maybe
on
I'll do some
rotating
riffing.
the higher belts as
For
refs
reffing.
because last time we didn't. No, we have our lav mics on. It'll be okay. It'll be okay. When we were
yeah.
really lucky enough to get Damien Maya on the podcast,
Uh-huh.
somebody was with a fucking jackhammer next door, and
Oh
we
my
were like,
God,
"Please
yeah.
speak into the microphone."
Like,
Oh
sorry
my
about
God, I
that.
forgot about that.
There's
yeah.
lots of sirens outside.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so this is fine. It'll be okay.
Yeah, we're good.
The only like 3 of us showed up because what he did, he was like, I need purple belts to show up instead of like reaching
Yeah.
out and being like, I need you here, because dudes, right?
Because
He didn't-
dudes.
Like he didn't say, Donna, can you
'Cause
make sure this shit
dudes.
gets done? Because then I would have been like, here's the list of people. So then there were like 3 of us, and at one point my blood sugar had dropped, and I was like, I'm gonna pass out. You have to get somebody else out here. It's so hot in here.
He's
I'm
like, you're
gonna
just
die."
refing. Oh, that was during the.
But it was when
Yeah,
it's
it was
117
so hot,
degrees outside.
and I've been refing for like 3 hours.
Standing or doing jujitsu, you have the same amount of sweat pouring down you.
Man, that was like a month
Yeah.
of that kind of
Ugh. It
craziness.
was a little much. This whole, all of Mother Nature right
Dude,
now.
Mother Nature is so
does not
She's
like
bad
us
pissed
right now.
off right now, and she's like, you know what? Just need
She
some
said,
spankings.
y'all fuck with me,
Right?
I'm gonna fuck with all
Right.
y'all right now.
Right.
And she's on a rampage.
No, but I mean, she knows because climate change is fake, obviously. It's
I mean,
totally
duh.
Totally
fake.
fake.
The earth is
Super
flat.
Fake news.
Earthquakes aren't real, apparently.
The Earth floats around like a frisbee
Right.
among a set of spheres around the universe, but it's,
Yeah.
it's totally chill.
Do you have like extra water
Somebody
and
did
food?
this, and it just goes
I
around.
can't even with that right now. Okay.
Oh no, we
Wait, do I have what? Sorry.
like extra water and food. Do you have an
Oh, yeah,
emergency
she's-
supply?
she's on-
Oh, I'm on it. I am
yeah.
so
Me?
like yes, you.
Like
you.
here?
Like
People in
stock
Los
up.
Angeles. Do you have a stock of
Like
water?
stock up
and,
with water and food and
I
canned
have-
goods is basically what she's saying.
I have a bunch of these essential water
good.
bottles, which is great because
Do you
they're already
fill them
pH
up?
regulated.
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 No,
Regulated.
look,
Now there's
okay,
regulations
so,
about it.
Our friend Amir Alam is a seismologist,
Uh huh.
So
and
cool.
every
is
single
very
time
cool.
I'm like, what do we do? And he's like, fucking get water. Get so much water that you can live off of for 3 weeks.
For
I
3
don't
weeks?
think I have that much.
Because
water.
here, and I'll tell you why, and he can, I will get him to verify this. Here's what the problem and the scary thing about when the big one hits Los Angeles. Obviously, there are resources now, but
Sure.
the issue is if a right sized earthquake hits, it's going to break the water pipes. And the
Right.
issue will be getting to them and repairing to them. And there's so many of us here in this condensed area that we're going to be landlocked for weeks because we're not going to be able to get out because the San Andreas Fault is going to basically lock us into the LA basin. That's where all the damage is going to happen. And do you know this? Fucking genius.
Do I know which
I'm
part?
this.
Oh.
Our water supply is built on the San Andreas Fault.
that sounds good, right?
The
Makes sense.
entire Los
Makes
Angeles
sense.
basin water supply is. He showed me. He went to Google Earth or whatever he pulled up, and he zoomed in.
Fake
and
news.
he was like, "What?"
Google Earth.
He was like, "What do you see?" And I'm like, "Oh, I can see the fault." And he was like, "Right." And there's our water pipe that supplies the entire LA basin with water. We're super fucked.
Well, I
And
mean,
we're
I'm
not
just
going
waiting.
anywhere.
Yeah, I'm waiting. Like when the big one hits, it's gonna be like it's just gonna detach, and I'll wait for Kurt Russell. Kurt Russell come save me from Escape from LA.
Can I? I want to
It'll
be in
be
the
totally
rocks.
chill.
Can I be in the rocks area that he saves? Are we putting in
Escape
for
from LA.
Yeah, whatever. I don't care. But if we're having superheroes save us, I want The Rock to come save me.
Oh, The Rock, like
Yeah. Oh,
literally,
okay.
like Dwayne
Yes.
Johnson.
That
Okay.
one.
Oh,
Yes.
All right.
yes.
I don't know that.
I'm
we're
not
picking
sure.
I'm
the
just like,
superheroes.
why not?
Okay.
Look, he's gonna get Kurt Russell. I want The Rock. Who do you want?
Okay. Oh, of superheroes?
Yeah.
Or
Or
do you mean just actors?
Action heroes. Action heroes.
Superheroes? I don't know. I would.
The Hulk.
The Hulk.
That's an interesting one.
Mark Ruffalo.
Okay.
I guess.
Oh.
Okay, so not the Hulk, just the.
I don't know.
You
I
want
didn't know
Mark
who else
Ruffalo
to
to show up
I didn't know who else to
carry
pick.
you out like
I mean, yeah, I don't know who else to pick.
I don't-
Well, if
Yeah.
superheroes are coming in, Wonder Woman better come get me on her
I don't know, I
invisible
thought that's
I
jet.
don't know
what
who I would
Fly me
want.
out.
Would I
Action
want
heroes? Shit, I
Wo-
have to think about
maybe
that. then.
Wolverine, because Wolverine's just gangster. Like
How is he
not
going to be
not low.
helpful?
No, I mean, he'll just start shredding people and taking their water, and then I'll just be drinking it all and be like.
Anyway, the point is get water because Amir says, and he's a seismologist.
All that because of water.
John McClane can come save me
John
then.
McClane?
Yeah.
He's just good at fighting off terrorists at the top of the building.
So he can
Yeah, but see, like that's
still.
the funny thing about
He knows
Die
how to do
Hard.
shit.
Wait, how do you?
He
You've
knows how to
seen Die
He
Hard?
knows how to do shit.
Die Hard
He
is.
blew up a plane.
Well, except
he blew up a plane from the dribbling fuel that was coming off of it as it was taking off, and he lit that fuel up and it chased that plane and blew it
The
That's
up.
only
talent.
thing, the only
That's
thing John
talent.
McClane was missing in Die Hard was a cell phone, because
Can you imagine what he could have done with the cell phone?
well, then the movie would have just ended when it started.
That's true.
Because he's just like,
That's
hey,
true.
there's like a bunch of terrorists downstairs. Send the feds.
Can you just?
Sick.
Get on
And he's
this.
just like, I'm just gonna chill and wait for the cavalry to get there.
That's a good point.
It's like it's one
I
of those
guess-
movies that suffers from the cell phone,
Right.
cell phone plot.
There's
plot
so
hole.
many movies.
Yeah, like if you
that-
just use
yeah.
a cell phone,
Or even if
It's
the
all
characters
over.
just
it's all
spoke to
over.
each
Yeah,
other.
So
exactly.
in
Yeah.
2017, but they did a
Well, Die Hard would never work in 2017
well, they did one
unless
few
they
years
cut
ago.
all the lines.
I was
did
gonna
one
say
like
what they would
5
have to
years
do
ago.
is,
Or they'd
have
shut
to, like,
down
have
the
some
cell
sort of-
towers or
yeah.
something.
They did one like 5 years ago.
How to do?
Oh, but that one, the
was
Die
good,
Hard with like a
actually.
Vengeance or wait, which
No,
one was
that
it?
was
Oh,
still back
no,
in the
Die
90s.
Harder,
Die-
Live Free or Die
Live Free
Harder.
or Die Hard.
Oh Jesus!
I don't remember a ton of it.
I don't
remember
remem-
I
I don't
enjoyed it though.
remember-
I remember I enjoyed it. The kids are big now. They're grown-ups.
I don't remember.
Okay.
That's all I remember.
I mean, yeah.
Cars flying and stuff like
Yeah, where are
flying out
flying
buildings.
cars?
Or
It's
helicopters.
20
I don't know. I mean,
17.
when I
We're
was
stuck with
young,
flying
I was
cars.
expecting
Back to the Future. fucked
definitely
it up
by
for all
this
of us.
point,
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah.
But
Back to the Future.
But you know
it
what?
brought up
We
our
do have that's really
expectations
cool.
and
and
then it
Yeah.
just ruined it.
That building straight ahead. Have you done the slide that goes out of the side?
I
of the
have
building?
not
No.
actually.
I want to go do that. So there's the.
I haven't.
It used to be the First Interstate building. What is it now? The something bank?
The U.S. Bank building.
The U.S. Bank building. At the very top, it's like 80
You
something
just gave
floors
away
up.
my location.
Yeah, but they don't know exactly. You could see that from almost anywhere.
well, we're
in
in
Los Angeles.
downtown. You can yeah. That's like the tallest building.
We're in
There's a-
downtown
It's-
Pasadena.
That's the tallest
There's a-
building in downtown, except that thing that sticks up from the top of that
That's
one over
true.
there.
There's a slide that goes out from like the 87th floor down to the floor below, and you can ride it. And
It's
my
a glass. FYI, guys, it's a glass slide on the outside of the building.
It's awesome. I want to do it.
Me
My
too.
sister used to work on the top floor of that building when it was the First Interstate building, and you could go up on. People would pay them to like
go up.
and have like surprise people for proposals and stuff like that,
Oh.
and have dinners up there. That's where
I
they
think,
shot.
yeah, there used
I
to
think
be.
there's a group on for that
Independence Day?
thing, for
Probably.
that slide and shit.
The
Oh,
slide?
we
We
should
go
do it. Let's do it. Oh, we're gonna do an escape room. You should come.
A what?
An escape room.
Have you ever
What's
done
that?
one of those?
Uh-uh.
Okay, it's a room where you go in. Clearly, they lock you in, and then you have an hour to guess all the clues.
There's like puzzle, like
So it's
So
like
you have
real
to
life
solve
Clue.
it. And then some of
Yeah.
them, I don't know if they still do it. When they first started off, they would like hire an actor to be a zombie, and they would lock them in the room with you. And every 5 minutes, their chain would get longer. And if it gets to the point where the zombie touches you, you die.
I feel like you don't want to do that with a bunch of grapplers.
That's
though,
true.
'cause,
Somebody
like,
would freak out and like break somebody's arm.
Yeah.
I did one that it was pretty fun, but you didn't have to like do anything to get, like you go in, it was called like 17 rooms or something, and
What?
it literally, you went through 17 rooms.
That sounds stupid.
And like the one was like you were in a school and like the teacher kills a student, or a student kills themselves in the thing, and then you move into the next room and a bunch of weird shit's happening. There was one that was like a freezer room, and it had like a dead pig in, like there was actual like fish, actual shit in this room, and it was a freezer.
A dead pig?
Yeah,
like a
hanging-
real dead pig?
hanging
Don't
from
tell
the thing.
Zizu
It's
about
like
that.
a butcher.
Oh my god! And say
It's like a butcher
Vegans
freezer.
must have been going
Zizu
crazy.
will start blowing up your
He
spot
will.
right now.
Dude, there
He'll
was
probably call us after this just for even talking about it.
there
I
was
can,
a
I
room.
can text him to pipe
No,
in.
That
so
was
that-
there was a room that was like a cafeteria that you were going through because you were in a school or something.
Okay.
I don't know why the butcher locker was in there, whatever. I don't know, but they would like hit you with they'll like hit you with stuff, not hard, but like I had like a fish hit my eyeball.
a fish.
I'm not kidding you. A
An
fish hit my
actual-
eyeball.
an
An actual
actual dead
fish hit my eyeball, and I don't even remember
I'd
how
rather
it
have
happened.
the zombie.
I don't want.
There was a
I'm
room.
I'm good on the
That's
dead
weird.
fish.
There was a room that was really small, and there was probably like 8 people in your group maybe when you would go into this, and you would go in, they would lock you in this room. It wasn't very long, but you're all sitting in chairs, and then they start filling it up with those the balls from those play pens that kids that, like at
Oh, you
at
told
Chuck
me
E.
about
Cheese and
this.
shit, and it fills those motherfuckers up to your neck, and you're just in a room filled with
Full of balls.
and heads popping out at the top that you're like, what the fuck? And then it empties out and you go to the next room. It's like, whatever. But people freak out when that kind of stuff.
Yeah, it sounds. I mean,
that was
getting
a lot of
fish,
grab ass
fish
might-
thrown at your
Yeah,
eyes.
plus a lot of grab ass might be happening with those.
Under the balls.
Well, no, I mean, you're with 8 people. And
Yeah, have you met any of our friends?
Well, yes. I mean, if you go with some of those assholes.
Somebody's grabbing something.
Yeah, somebody's getting grabbed.
Okay, well, choose your group
I
wisely.
don't do haunted houses. They scare the shit.
I'm sure there's some people
I haven't done
would
one.
like.
Actually, I haven't done a
Stress.
haunted house in a long,
I want to
long
go to
time.
Hollywood Horror Nights so bad. But I need
I
those front
voiced
of the
over their
line passes.
commercial a couple
It
years
sounded
ago.
like you said something totally different, and then I realized what
I
you
didn't-
said.
Halloween Horror Nights. That's every night though.
That's what I thought you said.
That's every night is Halloween Horror Night.
Halloween Horror Night.
I was
Hollywood
like-
Horror Night.
I was like, okay, well, I mean, that sounds like an interesting
Right?
place. Like,
I love that stuff.
I wish
like
they would play my commercial again. I did their voiceover a couple of years ago.
I wish your commercial would get me tickets.
Yeah.
Because the front of the line passes are expensive, and regular, it's like 3-hour waits for some of those fucking things.
yeah,
2 to
see,
3 hour waits.
that's the one
why
thing I'm not a fan of is
that's why I don't
long
go.
waits.
Yeah. No,
Like-
like if you do
like,
amusement parks, you have to buy the front of the line pass.
And
Yeah,
it's like
I mean, but I also haven't,
$160
I
a
haven't
ticket
done
for that
a
shit for
amusement park
4
park
hours
in
that
a
you're
long
there,
time.
5 hours,
Yeah.
7, 8, 9, 10,
The
11,
last
12.
time we went to one, we bought the passes, and then we went on like 17 rides, and we actually went
you
on
can go
so
through
many
everything.
that we were like, we can't. Like we're going on the last one, and it's like going up the thing, and there's 4 of us, and it's one person's the birthday boy, and the birthday boy hasn't quit yet, so nobody else is gonna quit till the birthday boy quits.
Right.
And so we're going up and like our adrenaline's gone, and we're all like, fuck this. And finally the birthday boy goes, okay, I'm done. And we were like, oh my God, thank God.
Everybody's just
So then we just
sigh
finished
of
the
relief.
ride and like crawled out of the
Take me
amusement park.
I'm out.
Oh my God, that would be me. Like
Yeah.
if it's like a Hollywood Horror Nights type thing, that would be me. I'd be
Hollywood
like,
Horror
let's
Nights?
go
Horror
more.
Nights.
I love that shit.
Why? I don't like being scared.
I'm not. I mean,
don't know.
I don't
There's
mind
something fun.
the.
But I know it's fake.
Yeah.
There's a part of it of
Sure.
me that it's
Sure.
just the adrenaline.
Like you want to get
that-
stabbed for real.
Yeah, you're not.
And
You
then
know
that way
nothing's
you like.
gonna happen. There's the startling when someone comes up with a fake chainsaw next to your
Yeah, you
ear.
want to get
Dead
hit
fish,
for real
or
with like
someone
a
sneaks
barbed
up
wire
behind
baseball
you.
bat.
Did someone like some zombie monster-looking dude you don't know is behind you, sneaks up and goes real close to your ear and does
that's the plot, that's
some
the
shit
plot
like
of
that.
like a
That's
lot
awesome.
of movies, right? Because
Yeah.
the plot of a lot of like horror movies is your description of that, except it's real.
Yeah.
So you're like, oh, like this zombie
Like you have
is
no
like
idea,
not,
and you think something's. and
Yeah,
then-
like this zombie dude who's obviously a real dude, not really a
Right.
zombie, and then he like bites and rips out your jugular and your neck, and you're just bleeding out everywhere.
I would do one of those,
For real though, not.
but no, I would do,
not a
don't they
drill.
have like, you can go
Not
fight the
just-
zombie
This is not a drill.
Not a drill.
games?
What?
Those games that you can actually go fight zombies, like zombie
Like
actors?
video games or
No, like real life.
like go fight zombies?
Yeah.
Like
Don't they
real
have those?
zombies?
They've
Well,
done those,
like
like
actor zombies.
Well, don't they do like
Where are the
zombie
real
runs?
zombies at?
Oh, I don't know. I was just asking.
Like
I don't like
like
being
the
stressed. Like even halfway. So by the end of it, we went and saw it, and it was probably 20 minutes before the movie was over, and all my adrenaline had, because it
And you
made
were
me
over
jump
it
so many
already?
times, and I was like, how much longer is it? I'm done. Like I just,
You're
I was,
over
nothing can
it.
scare you
I was,
anymore.
I was pissed. I was like, how is it over?
I'm over it.
Yeah.
I actually haven't seen it yet.
All right.
Me either.
It was well done. It's not my cup of tea. It was very well done.
I'm
love all
waiting
of
for
that shit.
Blade Runner.
Ooh.
So I've been very skeptical about the reboot.
Okay.
It's not really a reboot, I guess. It's a continuation. But I am very excited, I think.
I think.
Well, because I don't want it to fall into
'Cause
like
then it
the...
could-
You don't want to get overly.
Yeah,
then
so like
it'll-
Prometheus was a great example because Prometheus, when I saw the Prometheus trailer, I was like, oh my fucking god, this is like...
Prometheus was rad.
You... What?
Yes.
Wait,
Stop
what was
it.
Totally go
Prometheus,
home and watch that movie right now again.
I didn't...
Really?
I didn't
Continuation of what?
Aliens.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so Prometheus I thought had one of the best trailers ever. And I thought the movie was a huge disappointment.
Really? I
Yeah,
liked it.
I didn't. I mean, I liked it visually.
Maybe that's why.
Yeah,
Maybe
visually it
that's
was
a lot.
entertaining
There is
for
a lot of
sure.
visuals in it.
But I don't want Blade Runner, in my opinion, to suffer from the same fate.
That's yeah.
But Blade Runner is one of my all-time favorite movies. The Matrix is my number one, obviously.
The first one.
First one, for sure.
Yeah.
The one that did that for me, that I was like, I got super excited because I was in a questionable state. I was like, don't kill. Clash of the Titans was one of my favorite movies growing up. I loved it, and when they were remaking it, I was like, I don't know about this right now.
Yeah.
And so but I have to watch it. It was okay.
Was it though?
It was okay. It was alright. Wrath of the Titans, on the other hand, I think is where they made up for it a little bit. I thought Wrath of the Titans
I didn't
was really
see that
good.
one.
I didn't.
Probably because Clash of the Titans was kind of a letdown. Watch Wrath of the Titans. It was much better.
Okay.
I thought it was, but I also thought Prometheus was good. So
Yeah.
And we disagree
I
there,
might give it a
clearly.
whirl.
All
I
right.
suppose.
I'm surprised you've seen this many movies. It's shocking.
I pulled out. I was my
You know she hasn't seen anything, right? Anything.
Like nothing.
No Star Wars.
So
What?
No
You're
Harry
you're just like
Potter.
Mac.
So this morning,
Mac
see,
hasn't seen Star
No,
Wars?
it's, well, I mean,
think-
until
I
we
think
met,
her-
and then I was like, okay, this is the list of things
Mac
that
is his
that-
lady for anybody who
that
doesn't know.
that needs to be addressed.
Yeah, we need to have
this
a
is-
Star
Things
Wars
needs to be
weekend.
addressed
It's
before
Star
we can
Wars,
continue with this relationship.
Star Wars, like Lord of the Rings, Jaws,
I've seen Jaws.
like
you.
all of the
Thank you,
classics, The Shining, like
yeah.
everything of goodness. And yeah, she's been a trooper.
We need to have a movie weekend. Ooh, this would be a great place to have
This
a
is a
movie
great
weekend.
spot.
Right
yeah,
here.
we used to have a screen over here,
Oh, that's a good idea.
but it's not there anymore.
No.
That area that's
fake
not,
news.
nothing's there.
Fake
Fake news. Fake news.
Yeah.
Hey, do you ever want to have your own 10th planet?
I don't think so.
No?
No.
Do you like teaching?
I do, but I'm not sure.
If running a school is the
Yeah, if it's the thing for me. Plus,
teaching
I
a
don't.
few classes here and there.
Yeah,
is cool,
and I
but-
also don't want to. I like LA.
Yeah,
I
and there's
don't-
nowhere else to go.
Yeah, nowhere.
At this point, like any direction,
Yeah.
like you're just kind of.
It's true.
shit
There's
out of
nowhere to
luck.
go.
So,
Yeah.
no, but yeah, I mean, obviously a lot of people are in the process of doing that.
Yeah.
Really excited for Pasadena
Me
guys
too.
to
Oh
get
my
up
God,
and running.
It's gonna be
so
awesome.
good.
Gonna be a
Yeah.
good one.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's going to be a good
so-
squad over there.
Yeah.
There also might be some women's self-defense classes.
Nice.
Just saying.
Just saying.
Yeah, so it'll be. I'm excited for that, but no, I'm not sure that's in my.
Do you know that somehow we're
future.
signed up? I mean, not somehow. Rob Rodriguez did it. We're signed up on the U.S.
We are.
Wrestling.
We are. I updated
It's my phone number.
Is it really?
And I forget that
Yeah.
we're signed up on there. And then I'll get a phone call and it'll be from like a Kentucky number. And it'll be like, hi, I'm trying to get my son into wrestling. Can you tell me where 10 Planet Wrestling is? And I'm like, what?
In Los Angeles?
Like, what are you talking about? And they're like, you're listed. This is 10 Planet. And then it's people who don't know what 10 Planet is, so they get all confused with the name. They're like,
Sure.
I'm looking for Planet Wrestling.
Planet Wrestling.
Is
Well,
that us?
I'm
It's
I'm
this-
looking for
it's
flat
this
Earth wrestling.
It's this flat planet.
I'm looking for
way
flat.
in
I'm
the
looking for
distance.
flat plane wrestling.
And if they call me early enough when I'm not awake yet, I'm
Oh
like,
dear God, she bites
what?
the head off.
I almost yelled at this lady until I figured it out. Then I'm like, wait, let me take a deep breath and be nice to her.
Yeah, I updated the
nice to
club
strangers.
affiliation because
Okay.
Rob
So-
had told me he.
Did
he,
you put my phone
updated
number
it.
down?
No, he must have.
Yeah,
Why would he put yours?
because
and not-
I'm the kids coach.
Oh. All right.
It makes sense. It makes sense.
Okay.
Yeah.
So now you're not surprised from 6 a.m. calls from Kentucky.
It still surprises me because I told it. It doesn't happen frequently enough
Yeah.
that I remember.
Sure.
It's only like every other month I get this weird phone call.
Yeah, I don't actually answer any numbers that I don't really recognize.
Yeah.
I feel like I probably should sometimes, but I don't.
Yeah.
I just
No,
had one coming
it's
through on the way
always
over
fun.
here.
Yeah.
Don't know
Yeah.
who it was. Don't care.
Random
Leave a
states
voicemail.
too. I'm like,
And then only voicemails. Like,
I'm
all
like,
right, well,
who
wasn't
do I
that
know in New
important?
Mexico? Nobody.
You know,
Like,
lots
who do
of
I
10
know
Planet
in-
people are
in
There's
saying.
two
North
10th planets
Dakota?
in New Mexico. You know people there.
Nobody.
North Dakota, there's no 10th planet, so
Like,
maybe.
who do I know from there? Nobody.
No.
Right?
Yeah.
How's your family preparing for
Yes.
for
So
Hurricane
yeah, my
Maria?
grandparents.
And how did they do with
uncles-
Hurricane
In Puerto
Irma
Rico.
too?
Yeah, in
Yes.
Puerto Rico, they're fine. it ended up being not quite as bad as it was supposed to be in Puerto Rico.
Right.
They were out of power for like a week, but
Yeah.
that's
The hurricane
the
just
worst
kind of
of
went
it.
over
that's
the
a
top,
normal,
and they got the bottom
normal
part
thing.
of
I
the
mean,
hurricane.
I grew up in Puerto Rico. I was there for Hurricane Hugo when that hit.
Oh, really?
It obviously doesn't mean that there's not damage.
Yeah.
And
Well, it just makes a fucking mess everywhere.
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
I was
Like,
talking to a friend yesterday in Miami I was like, so how's the cleanup going? He's like, it's a fucking mess. There's
Yeah,
trees
exactly.
Some
everywhere.
people
And
still don't have power.
It's
like,
been over a week.
sorry.
yeah, I mean, my
there's
grandfather
leaves
didn't.
on the
Yeah,
ground,
they didn't have power for a week.
No, there's
so.
like palm trees, like.
No, I know. I
down.
had a friend. So I guess there are people who do have power that are like, this is unacceptable that there are still trees on the ground, and he's like, people still
Right.
don't have power,
Yeah,
and there's
so
crews
there's
working
that.
24 hours a
Right.
day. Calm down.
Calm
There's
down,
that.
entitlement.
The trees are gonna stay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Calm down, entitlement.
There's
yeah.
that, obviously.
My
but-
dad didn't have power for a week. Yeah, after
that sucks.
he
Yeah.
had to go stay with someone else. Because it's also
yeah.
still in the warm, humid time over there.
Oh,
Like it's dying down. It's
Yeah.
not like July and August, but it's still.
I mean,
it's still humid.
Puerto Rico, it's always hot and humid.
Yeah.
why don't you guys like hot stuff? I am
Hot
so
stuff?
like hot sauce.
Oh, I eat insanely spicy food.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Because
The thing
Capella's
is
like,
the-
no, I
the-
don't.
the
I don't
No,
eat
it's
it.
not a
And
Puerto.
spicy,
Yeah, it's not a Puerto Rican food. Isn't particularly.
What
It's
is
not
that
really
crap?
spicy.
There's a lot of spices used in the food, but they're not
But
spicy.
it's not
They're
spicy.
not hot.
No.
But there's a
that's
lot of
something I
spices.
developed outside of
Yeah.
Puerto
Living
Rican
here.
food. Yeah. No, I mean
That's
not
his
even
to a
here.
taco
That's his
truck and they're like, here,
Americanized
eat
thing.
Not even here. I mean, like lots and lots of like we actually have. I think at a time was the second hottest hot sauce in the world here.
Ooh.
It's
Jesus.
3.5 million Scoville units.
What?
Yeah, and
I
we
don't
cook
know
with
what
it.
that
I mean,
means.
Mac.
I feel like-
even Mac's like super well versed in
Really?
extremely hot peppers.
Do you know who makes the hottest food? I think it's Nigerians. Have you ever had Nigerian food?
No,
When I
I
was
don't
in,
think so. I might have, but I don't think so.
I always thought that I liked really spicy food because I like, spicy Mexican food. But in my
Even Mexican
opinion,
food's not that spicy though.
sometimes, but some
Sure.
salsas are. But in my opinion, the spice is also very flavorful.
Sure.
So then my friend, when I was in my early 20s, my roommate at the time was dating a Nigerian guy, and he's like, I'm going to bring you guys some food. And we were like, awesome. And he brought it, and I was like, this is bullshit. It's like fire in a thing. Like, it's hot for no reason. Like, there's no flavor to it. It was
Sure.
just like, have some heat in
Let's
your
just
mouth.
let's just blow up your palate
there's
with no
something
flavor.
about that though. Like for me, when it starts to hurt, I like.
Let's get your sweat.
Yeah,
When it starts to hurt.
When it starts to hurt, like I have a slight allergic. This is gonna sound ridiculous. Okay, this is gonna sound ridiculous, but I really do have a slight allergic reaction to some peppers. So it's just like my outside of my nose and like under my eyes sweat a little bit. So I had to growing up I couldn't eat hot food really.
Okay.
But my dad and my brother are very into hot peppers, and so I was always like the one in the corner because I couldn't. I can't eat that. And so as I got older, I actually have worked on building my tolerance to eat hotter and hotter peppers.
Oh
and so
my
now
God.
it's like. I welcome the pain because I think I
Oh
enjoy
my
it.
God.
It's some weird
Make you a
twisted
man.
some weird twisted thing, but I love if it's like to the point where I might start crying. Like
Oh my God.
that's
Okay.
like okay, great.
I feel about
you don't do
spicy
spice. You
food
don't do
the
spice.
way you feel about haunted houses
Right.
and like scary shit. It's unnecessary.
It's,
That's how I feel
yeah,
about
I mean,
it.
it's-
She's such a
it's
wuss when
good,
it comes to
though.
like if you and I would be like, there's
Our
not
taste
even
buds-
any spice in that, and she's like, this is awful.
Everybody's taste buds are different.
Of
Mine are a
course.
little bit more
But you
sensitive
can.
to
But
spicy.
I'm a testament of your ability to build up to that.
Yes,
Fuck you.
Indian food is good spice. Thai
I
food
love
is good spice.
Indian food.
Yeah.
And Thai food is some of my favorite.
For sure.
favorite food ever.
Yeah.
I love Thai food, the not spicy one though.
So yeah, Mac and I are actually going to Vietnam at the
I've
end of the
heard
year.
that's an amazing place to visit.
Yes, we wanted to do Thailand and Vietnam, but there's not enough time and budget to do all. So we're like, all right, fuck it, we're gonna do just Vietnam now,
That sounds
and then
cool.
another time go to Thailand.
Vietnamese food
Nice.
is bomb
yeah.
diggity too.
I'm
I like
hungry. I'm hungry.
any Asian
Right?
food is.
This conversation.
Yeah,
has made me
which
hungry.
is it's the worst too, because like I'm not eating any of that stuff, and
Right.
now I'm like thinking about how good it is.
Sorry.
No, it's
Sorry.
totally fine. I'm
It's
not,
disgusting.
Like,
Blah.
it doesn't bother me at all. doesn't bother me. But it's the flavors are.
That's okay. I'm not
Yeah.
eating ice cream. We just passed an ice cream place on the way over here. I
Which
can't
one?
eat
The
ice
one down
The
there.
one
cream.
on the
that
corner
one
by
right here
your-
on the corner.
It's blasphemy. That place.
It's horrible,
Is
right?
it?
Tell me it's
No, I
terrible.
mean,
Just
it's
tell
just-
me it's awful
it's,
and horrible
um,
because I can't eat it.
It's weird because they have like I don't know. The line there gets so absurd.
They
like
have ropes
crazy,
outside, like Disneyland.
Yeah.
For
It's
their
not
lines.
Salt and Straw, is it?
No.
Because that
it's
place
like a
gets
new.
lines too.
It's like a
No, this place had,
new-ish
like-
place that popped up there not so long ago.
Man, people love to be impressed by stuff, don't they?
Exactly.
Honestly, in LA,
Exactly,
you can
it's
put
like-
a red. You can, as long as you put a red rope, and like, if somebody says this is like the coolest
right
thing,
person has to say
you're
this
like-
is
Yeah,
cool
the right
and
person, and all of a sudden
yeah.
they're just blowing up.
You're like, oh, did you hear?
That's
Yeah.
it's all marketing and branding. That's it.
Yeah.
Did you hear this ice cream is made of
Ice,
milk and
milk.
ice?
It's cold.
Has
Did you
sugar
hear that
in
this
it?
ice
Has
cream is
sugar.
cold?
No, but what it would have to be is locally sourced, organic,
Right. Locally sourced,
Sugar.
organic, hand
Sugar.
procured
squeezed.
by
Yeah.
procured
Hand
by
squeezed breast.
organic vegans who like live on some kind of commune.
Well, no, organic
Zisu.
organic vegan can't.
Who've
They
been-
would.
Oh,
they
that's
would.
why they
Yeah.
couldn't. They couldn't.
and,
You're right.
and
Ask
have
Caesar.
been,
Caesar,
have
can
been
you gr- can you-
generations of vegans and so 5
Why
years,
would you eat
5
that?
generations
That came
of
out of
vegans.
the cow. Why would
I
you
hope
eat
he's not watching this
No,
because he's
we-
gonna punish. Like when we do strength and conditioning, he's just gonna punish me.
He might. No, he's actually
It's
made
my
it very
working.
clear that he's never seen an
I
episode.
don't watch that. Why would I? Why? I don't even follow
You
your.
do a podcast?
I don't even follow your. What's your page on Facebook? I don't even follow it. Yes, he does. He also knows that I do impressions of him whenever I have to do accents for voiceover. I do them better if I'm imitating
Pretending
somebody.
to be somebody.
Yeah.
So that he's your
So
pretend go-to.
He's my, and whenever it's a Mexican accent, I'm like,
Oh my
I'm gonna
God.
be Zissou, and I'm gonna do this.
For anybody that's ever listened to Eddie probably mastered
Well, he's
the system.
mafia now.
Or he's what?
He's mafia.
He's,
Who's
uh,
mafia?
Mexican is now mafia.
Oh, is he?
All right. Well,
All right.
apparently
That's his
I've been
new
gone
name.
for a really long time, but when he refers to the Mexican, he's talking
It's
about this
Zissou.
person that we were
But now it's
speaking of.
mafia.
I've done impressions of him on the podcast before.
Yeah.
Oh
is
no!
is mafia?
Becky's never seen a Star Wars.
Star Wars?
And Ray is long term. That's his new.
Long term?
Yeah, that's his.
I've been gone for
'Cause
5
his
months and
relationship?
nicknames
No,
changed,
just
all the
'cause-
warm-ups
'cause,
changed,
You got a
everything.
girlfriend?
No.
There's new
Long term.
names
Dude,
for
he
things.
and Cece are getting their reps in. She tried to go ham on me last night, and I'm like, oh, okay, we're doing this.
It's like this.
We doing it.
It's like this.
Okay, thank you so much for sitting down with us.
With your fancy pants.
Your fancy pants.
Fancy pants. Can
Your
that be
fancy
your
pants.
name?
No,
No.
but you also took time out of your busy day. I know you've got a super busy training schedule,
Why?
and we're like, we want you
You
on the
always
podcast.
wear fancy spats too. It would make
You
sense.
do like
I
some
do
fancy
like-
spats.
I
Do you have
I
any
do like
spats?
them spats.
Do you have a spats sponsor?
Spat
No.
sponsor?
Spat
Spat sponsor?
A sponsor.
A
A
spat
sponsor.
A spit. Yeah, you-
Sponsor.
sponsor?
No.
Somebody should sponsor you. Who's got some
Probably.
fancy spats? Fancy spats.
Hypnotic is pretty fancy, or like they're pretty out there.
That's true.
And Newaza,
Send him
of
some
course.
spats. The man
Newaza
wears
has
spats.
fucking cat spats.
do wear
There's cat
spats.
fates all over
Yeah.
them.
I
Like with no
spats.
shorts
you like-
on.
I like
you'll see
spats
spats.
because it grips.
That's why I wear them.
Yeah, it grips.
I feel you.
Also, I look horrible in those fight shorts.
Into what?
The
We look like
fucking fight
midgets.
shorts that Eddie makes me wear to
Because
coach
the
the kids.
weird length of
I
them,
look-
it makes you look like a midget. It would make me look like a midget.
Why does it make you look like a midget?
It's
Because
funny.
of the
Look,
length
it-
of
it
the-
looks- and
the-
they're-
Oh,
and
the
they're-
length and
For
the.
girls,
way they're
it's
cut,
weird.
The
they're-
band.
And she's
yeah.
short already, so
Right.
just
And it
more.
looks like me and my wife really
Wait,
love to do
she's short?
jujitsu. Yeah.
Yeah.
It makes me
Oh.
look.
yeah, she's a
It
midget
makes me
already.
look very lesbianic. It's
So throw
true.
those shorts on, they just
Yeah.
make her look
But I mean, I'm assuming they make shorter sizes of
Nope.
the shorts, right?
Well, yeah, but
not that
Not-
much.
10th. Like I
Why
have
don't you
to.
just wear?
I
Oh,
have
because
to
the
wear-
10th Planet shorts.
I don't have to wear them any other time except for when I'm teaching the kids.
Right.
So they have to be Eddie's uniform because that's what he wants the kids to wear. So
I
yeah.
see.
And you have to wear the shorts. You can't just wear the leggings.
Sometimes I forget.
Is that under quotes?
Uh-huh.
Sometimes I forget
Sometimes
to wear
I
them.
Often.
forget.
Often you forget.
I mean, sometimes.
As often as
Only
possible you
sometimes.
forget.
No,
if you're gonna take a picture,
I always try
let
to
me put
remember.
the shorts on. Let me
I
take
always
the,
try to remember.
You put them on just for the picture. You're like,
Just
hold
for the
on, hang on.
picture.
Okay,
Oh no, you
let's
just
take a
hold.
picture.
No, you hold them over.
That's true.
You just hold it over
No, I
top
just
and you
stand
put
in the
your
back
hand like
of the
this.
kids because they all cover me.
There you go. See,
'Cause
you
they're
don't have to worry
taller.
about it, You're fine.
Eddie never watches our
Exactly,
podcast. He's
see?
never gonna hear this. He's like, I wear them every day, all the time.
He's gonna know.
No, he's not.
See,
He doesn't
no, you
watch
know what
this podcast.
Caesar? You know what Caesar's gonna do because of how much fun you make of him. He's gonna show Eddie.
Caesar
this.
doesn't. Nobody in HQ watches this. It's people in other places.
Oh.
People in HQ see us all the time,
We-
which I get.
That's actually true.
I never watched one episode or listened to one episode of Eddie's podcast. Everybody's like, "Oh, do you listen to it?"
No, we
Why?
heard all the stories in
I
class
listen to him-
earlier.
I listen to him talk all the time.
While we're stretching, that's the stretch
Exactly.
routine.
He's actually cut that down. You know, he used to talk for like easily a half hour before class.
He may or may not have admitted to me the fact that he uses us as his practice for his
No,
comedy.
he said that.
He said that in class.
Yeah.
Oh, I haven't been there. I don't know.
Yeah, he said that. He says
okay.
he's like, I'm trying, it's kind of trying out a routine.
Yeah.
Oh,
No,
dear.
he says that. He doesn't. Nobody from HQ watches us, but other people in other places are gonna see. Like, we got lots of Texans, we got some Canadians.
Texans.
Lila
So-
watches sometimes, maybe.
Shmada.
when we used to go live, Lila
Oh,
would
yeah.
watch.
All right.
No, only like our hardcore people that stick with us. Nobody from HQ.
Australia
watches
likes
us.
us.
Australia does like us. What up,
Them
Australia?
Aussies.
We
Yeah,
love you.
Frank was on last week. We love him.
Yeah.
It was nice seeing Frank. I hadn't seen
He's
him in a
awesome.
while.
Do you have
know,
any
been like a year and a half.
sponsors or anybody you want to give a shout out to?
You have no sponsors?
No.
That's bullshit.
He's on the U.S. grappling team, people. Let's
Yeah,
let's
what's up?
get it together. Sorry,
Somebody call
I'm
a
gonna get
sponsor. Thank you.
yelled
You're
at
gonna
for
pop
I'm gonna get
somebody's
yelled
ear.
at for clapping. I apologize if I blew your ear out.
The claps.
Pop somebody. Just got the claps.
Sorry. I know.
Wait,
The
Frank-
line
when
spiked up.
Frank gets excited,
He's just like punching his hand.
He punches his hand
clap.
and does like, it makes this pop sound, and he did it like 3 times, and I was like, and he was telling a very emotional story, like, you know how one of his students passed away?
Yeah.
So he's in the middle of this super emotional story, and he keeps popping his
starts
hand,
popping the
and I'm like,
hands.
could you
Can you like punch your leg or something?
Just not close to the mic.
like,
Yeah.
you're gonna blow somebody's ear out, but thank you.
No, I
Please
mean,
proceed.
yeah. No sponsors.
Okay, well,
Like
we gotta
to
work on
like
that,
to
guys.
thank the whole crew though.
What?
Our whole crew. Because
Um,
they're the ones that have gotten me here. so
Gotten
heck
you where
yeah.
you are.
Well, plus all your wrestling and all that kind of.
yeah, well that too.
your
But
talent.
Your dedication, your
dedication,
hard work.
God,
Right.
fine.
I mean, your good
I'll add
hair.
an eye to that.
Your good hair got you somewhere.
Me
I mean,
and
look
my
where it got-
team.
It's
look-
graying though, which is kind of fun.
Look where it got Ruben
It looks
Rivera.
lovely.
Thanks.
You know,
That's right.
all the way to black belt with that hair.
That's true.
Just the hair.
Just the hair.
Just the hair.
It's
Got
the
it.
hair.
And apparently his awesomeness is attributed to his hair too.
his hair?
From what I've
Oh.
heard.
It's
so.
true. Yeah.
Maybe I'll have a chat with Ruben just
Yeah.
to.
Just ask him what product he uses.
Yeah, maybe we can sync up.
I know he uses a little
We're,
bit.
we're all
cinnamon.
about
10th Planet
syncing
hair
now.
care.
True. 10th
We're
Planet
about
Hair Care.
syncing.
It's a
Y'all can
business,
start
you and
a
Ruben.
thing.
10PHC.
Yeah.
There you go.
There it is. Are
Look
we
for
going to
that
be able to
next
see
year.
your...
2000.
Are
Yeah,
they
so
gonna stream?
I'm sure it's gonna be on Flow and all the other
Okay.
fun stuff.
Yay.
In Europe, I'm assuming it'll be on like
Yeah.
actual TV because they actually
Really?
care about.
Oh, they actually care about grappling out there?
Yeah.
Oh, that's nice.
We have 8,055 channels. Why can't we put it on
I'm
one
sure
of them?
it'll probably it
We've
might
got,
be on
what, ESPN 3,
75?
4,
Yeah.
82?
ESPN 1
So
through
why can't we have
100.
an ESPN grappling?
Yeah, I mean, I'll keep you posted once I
Please
know
do.
more about the
Martial arts.
And
schedule.
ESPN.
Is this going to come out before Friday? I mean, Saturday?
Negative.
Negative. No. Okay,
Next
never mind. I was going to say the Blue Belt tournament, but we'll just put it up on our page.
So there was this blue belt tournament
What?
last week.
So there's this blue belt tournament Saturday, but
That just
by the
happened.
time
It
you
just-
see this,
Right.
it already happened.
It'll already happen. So we'll
Pretty
just put it
much.
on our Facebook before it happens.
Right.
If everybody wants to follow you at home on your and see your cool hair, what are your social media
And
handles?
awesome spats.
My
And your awesome
Instagram,
fancy pants.
it's El Quixote. So L like
EL.
EL EL _Quixote.
Like
but
the book?
yes, but not with the X because somebody already took that, so it's a J.
Ah.
So EL _QUIJOTE.
There it is.
Fancy. Or just look him up by
That was
his
my
name.
racing name.
Was it?
Yeah.
Wait,
well,
we
with
never
with
even
the
got into
X,
that. Okay.
but that's gone.
All right. Are there any
X's are
pictures
cool,
that we
too.
can go back and see of you like racing motorcycles?
Yeah. There's some that all down a couple hundred posts or something. But
I'll
yeah.
scroll
Oh,
down.
I'll-
Videos and
I'll stalk
You
your
gotta
page and
Scroll
you have
down
to, you have
like
to
5
do, you have to
years.
do what people call a a deep like or something.
a
Oh,
deep
yeah.
like.
It's a
Is
deep
that-
like
when you
it's
like when
Shouldn't
you
it be
like
like
a
a
post
deep
from
dive? Oh.
from 164 weeks ago or something.
it's like a
Right.
deep like, which is like I guess the
Super
stalker
stalking.
the
list also.
stalker like,
Super
yeah, because
stalking.
you're deep in the profile
Yeah.
at that
I dig
point.
it.
Yeah.
That happens to us every once in a while. I'm like, huh.
They
That's a
like
really
when
old
they like a
picture.
picture from like 2 years ago. Yeah, that's deep. They went deep.
That's a deep
Alright.
like.
Yeah.
So
All right.
yeah,
You learned
Cool
something
beans.
new today.
I did. I learned something new all the time. All
That's
the
the
damn
idea,
time. Right?
every day,
Just
There
keep
it is.
learning.
All right.
every day.
Lesson for today: deep likes.
And the more you know.
Deep like is the lesson for today.
Thanks, guys. We'll see you next week. Bye.
See ya.
Deuces.
Hey guys, thanks for listening. If you like what you're hearing from us, we'd love it if you went to iTunes and gave us a rating and a review. And don't forget, you can support the podcast directly at patreon.com/MattTherapyLife.